Yeah, we don't rush the truth. We let it groove. Lush dope. Nah, we talk politics, culture, money, the law. Wrong dialogue. We say it out loud. No need to monologue. This is the Proud Mary Show. Come ride with we. Unfiltered voices, clarity. If it matter right now, best believe we know. Break it all down. The Proud Mary Show. Real talking. Yeah, yeah. Proud Mary Show. Yeah, yeah. Real talk. Real rhythm. Proud Mary Show.
Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Proud Mary podcast. I am your girl, Miss Mo, aka Let's Be Honest, and this is,
92 Stag.
and we are the Proud Mary podcast where we give it to you nice when we can, and
Rough when we must.
y'all know we don't have no problem doing that. So we want to welcome you to today's episode of the Proud Mary podcast. June 4th, what is it? June 4th, 2026. It has been a lot going on. We have a lot to talk to you guys about. But before we get started, we would love to ask you to do a couple things. First, if you are not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you are, do the next thing. Share out this here live now. Get some of your friends and your family in. And then third, hit the thumbs up button already and engage as much as you can throughout the live. Comment, you see your comments will pop up along the bottom of the screen. But the more you tap, the more you touch the screen, the more you show YouTube that you are enjoying YouTube and Rumble, because we're streaming on Rumble as well, that you are enjoying our show. We have a lot in store for you because I think we've been gone for close to 2 weeks now. So it's been a lot happening. We definitely want to cover the current things, cover from our own, our own perspectives, which, is a little different than a lot of other people's. And then, get you guys an opportunity. If you want to, we're going to pin and you can come up and join the conversation in the earlier part of the show. And then, of course, at the end of the show, we're going to have Stag's I Just Can't moment. And then my Mo's Money Minute. But in the meantime, between time, we're going to let Stag give you a little bit of a recap of what we're talking about before we get started. And then we're going to delve on in. Go ahead, Stag.
Uh, okay. Hello, hello, hello. So first we're going to get into the um what is it? Cyrus Carmack case, the verdict that just has come down. Um that I'm sorry. Give me just a second, but I got a brain freeze for some
That's
reason.
okay. We
Okay,
got
the Cyrus Carmack, and also that the what's his name, Carmelo Anthony, his trial started actually yesterday. Technically, it started. They were picking a jury, and today they had opening arguments.
mm-hmm.
Very controversial there. So, also, we're going to get into, we'll show a little bit of what's been going on in the circus that has been our Congress, as long as the Democrats are up there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, man, the circus that it is. And we're going to talk a little bit about, a little bit of politics and law, and I think that we're going to cover a little bit of immigration on that, because I think a lot of y'all are confused and don't understand that they ain't citizens. So, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. I don't know if you saw that video that I sent you, Mo, of the Obama library is open, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
like it. Let me say it how I don't like it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like it. I watched that video and I don't like it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even keep watching it. It was probably several reasons why I didn't keep watching it. But I think the key reason was him. the guy was too frantic. He was too frantic for
Mm.
me. Um, and it just means somebody else that just don't have a clue. I mean, it looked like it could be okay. I promise when I go home, I'm not gonna go and kill myself to go see it. But I mean, he was just a little too excited for me, and it just
Well,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
tell you, I didn't like it because it was to me it was to me it was a big building of propaganda. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
looked at it as.
Oh,
It was a
sorry,
bunch
got
of
here.
him pushing his views politically. It wasn't necessarily about his presidency. It was about the policies and things that he want to push. And that's what it was. It's a big building of propaganda and lies.
Yeah,
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I mean, it looked like it was designed nice. It looked like,
The
um,
inside looked very different than what I would have expected looking at that outside.
yeah, yeah. The inside looked not, it looked nice, like a art. It looked like a museum. I feel like it was, how can I say? I
It
feel like
did,
it
but it
was.
wasn't really. I'm sorry, but it wasn't really a museum of his presidency. They highlighted some things, but the majority of it was
Hmm.
propaganda. That same story that those same stories that they keep trying to drill into us,
Hmm.
and about protesting. Did you see the videos of them protesting and stuff? Why do you have that in there? It's like so divisive. Like that's not a museum, in my opinion, for all Americans to
Hmm.
celebrate their president. It was like a African American museum of history of his
Hmm.
presidency.
Yeah.
And
Now
I
that.
really an African American museum because he was going all the way back to the '60s and stuff in there.
Yeah, I
Like
saw
I
that.
didn't like
Yeah.
it at all.
Yeah. No, no. I,
And then
I,
he had
I,
talking about the fight for health care. Did you see that part in there?
I
And
did.
they're
Well,
pushing
I'm gonna tell you. I
policies
think I
and
told you. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't watch the whole. I ain't watched the whole video because it was irritating to me
yeah, I didn't
personally.
like it. I didn't like it at all. I had
Yeah,
to
and
look
when
at
you
it
think
because I
about it,
needed to
yeah,
talk about it, but I didn't like it.
now that you think about it, yeah, like it was a lot of look like race stuff, race
Yes,
stuff on it. Yeah,
yes,
I didn't
yes.
really. Yeah, and you the president. I mean, you black. Yeah, but it looked like a civil rights. It was like
It looked
civil
like a
rights
civil rights
museum.
museum. Yep,
Yeah,
yep, that's it. Civil rights museum.
man. So I don't know what that was about, but hey,
Yeah, I didn't
go
like it.
ahead on Obama. They'll be excited. Like I said, you got that man. He was super excited over there. So, all right,
He was paid to be excited.
right, exactly. Well, we are going to start off our first segment of today, which is Let's Talk Law. And yes, Stag told you guys
Mhm.
earlier today. I mean, at the start of the show, we are going to delve in on and give our take, which is always different. Our take
Mhm.
on the Rick, what is this? Rick Chow and Cyrus. The case of Cyrus Carmack-Belton, and just the fact that he was found not guilty, and what we think about the entire case. We're gonna show, we'll like see some video and stuff. I have some video that they say wasn't seen, Stag. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna show that as well. But go ahead and tell your take on it, and what your thoughts are.
So let me preface this because y'all don't know me like they know me on TikTok. Okay. Let me preface this by saying that in no way do I think that that young man deserved to be killed. In no way.
Hmm.
But um I see some things that I question, and I'm not going to be oblivious to the things that we know, that goes
Hmm.
on in certain communities or
Hmm.
neighborhoods. I'll say that neighborhoods.
Hmm.
I also don't think that. Okay, so first, personally, I this was my
You
take on it
try
because
your
I
best
heard
to say.
people
You
saying,
try your best to
I'm
say
trying,
this as
I'm
nice as
trying,
possible.
I'm trying. You know it. I'm trying to say it as nicely as
Girl, you got
possible
to
because
give
I
it to
really
them rough.
don't.
What's the show called? You get to be
Y'all
nice
gonna
and
have
rough.
to. Okay. I'm tired of black people acting like we don't know what go on in our neighborhoods and communities, and especially with young people, right? They do. I'm not saying that they all do, but they go in stores and they steal, right? Adults do it too. All of them. They not all of them. I didn't mean that way, but they do it. And this is my thing is that I've heard people saying, you don't know this, or you don't know that young man. If he's 14 years old, 9 times out of 10, he frequented that store often because it's probably in his neighborhood that he
Mm-hmm.
walked there, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you don't know if the reason why, because this is what stood out to me. There was a man who came in, and I'm assuming that he bought maybe a cigar because he went up to the counter, bought something, left.
Mm-hmm.
A young lady came into the store, and also another man came into the store. They were not at all concerned about those people, but the moment he walked in, they were watching him.
Mm-hmm.
She got on her phone, probably text the husband who was in the back room in the stock room, and then she immediately left from behind the counter and went around there and watched him. You don't know if they've had problems with him coming in and stealing before. If
Mm-hmm.
maybe they saw him steal something and just didn't catch him the last time. And they remember, oh, that's him. We need to watch him. I'm not saying he did or he didn't, but we don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
We're not there. And then also, with the thing with the water, when he went in, he picked up 4 waters. When the lady was behind him, he immediately put them back. Why? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
And then didn't look at anything else to drink. I think that it threw him off that she told him when he came in to leave his backpack, which he probably knew that he had to do and tried
Mm-hmm.
not to.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it threw him off that she was following him around. And when he couldn't have his backpack, she was following him around. He decided to just leave back out the store.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from her vantage point, when he put his hand down, his back was to her, so she can't tell how many waters he had. But that son saw how many waters because you could see from that
Mm-hmm.
vantage point that he put all 4 waters back. Um, it looked like since he had both his hands in his hoodie pocket that maybe they did have something in his pocket. She stopped him, asked him. He shook his pockets. He never took his hands out of his pockets to prove that there was nothing in there. Now, maybe
Mm-hmm.
his cell phones was in there. Maybe that gun was in there, and maybe that's why he didn't take his hands out because it would have looked heavy and looked like it was something in there. I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
when he left out of the store, he left casually because that's another thing people are saying. He walked out of the store. Well, people don't break out running because they stole something unless somebody chasing them. Okay?
Exactly.
Unless they get into an altercation in the store, they don't run out of the store. They walk out. Once he said, I don't have nothing, he got his backpack. Why would he run out of the store? You know? So that's not a thing. Now, for them, not to say that they were concerned about him stealing a water that was probably $1 or $2, because it's probably high as hell, so I'm gonna say $2 in that little convenience store. Um, they can't say that they were concerned with shoplifting because when they left out of every one of them left out of the store and left 2 customers in there unattended by themselves, cash register, lottery tickets, cigarettes, everything sitting there, whatever they wanted, they could have had because every person in the store, the mother, the father, and the son all left out to go after that little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, I don't know what the full extent of, what the chase, the end of it was, because we don't get to see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anybody involved to believe either side or any of the witnesses, because people lie. Y'all act like people don't lie when they go to court or have biases of their own for whatever reason that they up there on the stand, right? I can't believe nobody. I don't know nobody. I believe that the prosecution did not try to win the case. I think they overcharged him
Yes.
because, according to the South Carolina statute, murder one has to be with intent and malice, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Premeditated, which means they had to have planned this, which they couldn't have because they didn't even know the boy was coming. Okay.
Right.
They didn't charge properly. Now, what they could have charged was voluntary manslaughter, which means that they took an action that they intended to harm him or
Mm-hmm.
unalive him. But it wasn't pre-planned, but when they took that action, it was to, harm him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't see that even if they say
You
that he had a weapon, which nobody said, any of the
you
witnesses said that they saw him point it.
Stag, before you get too deep into it, you want to watch a little bit of the video?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me just say this.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that he should have been charged with involuntary manslaughter, and there's no way that he should have been found. Well, the jury did their job because it was the prosecution's fault. They overcharged him. So yeah, the jury
Mm-hmm.
did their job because they didn't meet their burden of proof for what was charged. But go ahead.
Okay. All right. You guys that's watching, let us know if you are able to hear everything as we press play. We call ourselves getting this ready for y'all ahead of time so that you can hear. Hopefully you can see. Hold on. Hopefully you can see like you need to and hear like you need to. All right, let's go, guys. Tell me in the chat. Let me know in the comments if you can hear. And Stag, you too.
Well, some of it doesn't have any sound, so.
Well, this is all from. This is a different cameras.
Mhm. Only some of it you can hear them talking to each other. Some of it is just visual. It's no sound to it.
Let's go back. I'm gonna go back a little bit more. I think this. I want to go to when I first saw him walk in, and she was behind. Yeah, there we go. This is a
If you go to about 16 minutes, maybe
well.
15,
I
50,
This
it'll
is
go to
several
a
different
close up.
views. This is several
Yeah.
different view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's him back there in the back, guys. I don't know if you can see all the way to the back.
And it does have where she tells him to leave his backpack. He walking in with it, and she tells him to leave his backpack. You can hear that. And see, when he went over there, I think he saw her on that side, and then he came
Mm-hmm.
back.
She playing like she fixing them chips to watch. Look.
Yeah. And you can see his red shirt. He over there in them back coolers.
So this she's over open that back. She right behind him now over to the left at the
Mhm.
back of the screen.
Mhm. And I personally think
And
that
there
when
go
he
the husband
realized that
right
he
there,
wasn't
right?
gonna
That's
be able
Rick.
to get anything, when he wasn't gonna be able to get anything, he decided to go ahead and leave because they were watching him too tough.
She go right behind them. Or she would go over there and act like she messing with them chips.
At one point, she just stand there and cross her legs and watch him.
Okay, so yeah, this is the chip fixing. Let's see if we can get a little.
That's the first guy that came in.
Mm-hmm.
See at the counter.
They showing different angles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
And it's gonna get up closer because they're gonna show closer. They're gonna show from right where it looked like right next to him because I guess they got cameras all over there. So and see, she could have said something to him as to that he put it back, right then, because why you grab four waters and then immediately put them right back?
At this time, they all out of the store, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And see, she's stuffed in the store, and it's the guy at the counter still in the store. So they couldn't have been worried about shoplifters.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
I told you go to like about 1550 maybe and show them closer up. See, that's the guy that they left standing at the counter.
You said what? That's what I'm saying. This is not the video you sent me. I can go
Mm-hmm.
right there. So she must have asked him to check his pockets, but she didn't see him put
Mm-hmm.
nothing in his pocket.
Because she was behind him. She couldn't see if he put anything in there. But if you watch him at the cooler when he putting them back in, he does bend down a little bit. So she might have thought that he put one in his hoodie then. She can't tell from her vantage point.
Right.
But if you look, he didn't like take his hands out of his pockets at all.
Yeah, he
He just
didn't.
shook his pockets and said, "I don't have nothing." And all of them leave. Everybody, ain't
Yeah, so
nobody in
he
the
should have.
store.
He should. Let's see. Let's go to this.
I'd have had
Like,
me lottery tickets.
so he
No,
didn't. He didn't win and watch. Look at dude right here. He go to watch to see what's going on.
who you talking about? The guy that was in the store, the customer.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
grabs his.
he didn't go over there though. He leaves out because he was done. I think he had already paid for his
No.
stuff.
Watch this. He finna go watch. Look.
No, because you see him outside. He don't go there. He go to his car.
Okay.
And I wonder why. Was he a witness?
I think they said they asked him. They asked him or somebody, and they said they don't want to. They don't want to be a part of
Mm. See, he just go to his car. That was him. Hi, Mary.
it. Hey, everybody.
You can't see them from that angle, but if right on there, you're gonna see that little white shirt go in them trees behind that car. And then they showed that the wife had his shoes and the phone. And that's what you're gonna see there, her carrying the shoe
This is
when
just
she
showing him
comes
coming
back.
in. Okay.
She's gonna have his shoe and his cell phones.
Right, here we go.
And you see that guy
All
being
right.
an adult and that was a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that he should have maybe stepped in to let them know that, it's another
Mm-hmm.
adult here. Y'all not just, you know what I'm saying? And ask the young man, do you have anything? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of mediated that on
Yeah.
behalf of him because he was there by himself.
Well, I want to give you a couple of the comments we had. So looks like cousin Kevin, he said, he told you he never had a gun. Facts. Um, and then he just said he was scared. And then cousin Kevin said the judge could have stepped in too. I guess this is later down the line based on your
Okay.
comments.
Okay, number one, he did have a gun. It was a Taurus with a laser on it. They admitted that. The investigator said that it was a gun. He had a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He may have been scared. You don't know what his emotions was. You don't know that for sure. And the judge couldn't step into that because really the prosecution didn't meet the burden for what they charged.
Mm-hmm.
That was not murder one. Murder one requires premeditation, planning. They couldn't have did that because they didn't even know he was coming in the store. So they didn't plan that. They didn't get together and conspire to go. This all happened based, just all was just happening.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said that they should have tried not what involuntary manslaughter. That's what it was because it
Yeah.
wasn't involuntary. They meant to harm him. Voluntary manslaughter.
Yeah. I think, I mean, he definitely, first of all, nobody deserves to die, especially not over a $1.59 bottle of water. And even if they charge more than that, I truly can't even understand why um you would even chase him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Like, and
Right.
I worked in them stores like that and all that. Like, the reality of it is, you seen the most he could have had was water in there. I'm not going through
Right.
all that for a while, and especially with it's
Right.
three people chasing somebody down. It just, for me, from that
Yeah. For
part,
a bottle of water. Right.
yeah,
Mhm.
from the adult perspective, right? Now, do
Mhm.
I working in a gas station or a store like that before? Do I understand? Like, I feel like he might have in his mind, was gonna try to take him and slide him in his pocket. I don't know how he could think he was gonna get past them in the front because your jacket gonna start hanging down because you got on a hoodie. But
Mhm.
I don't understand,
Mhm.
if he wasn't, why did he put him back, right? If he was planning to pay
Mhm.
for him, and everybody's thing was, well, because they was like, well, he didn't have no money and he this and that, and they were like, well, he had two phones, so they said he had two phones on him, and he could have been paying with Apple Pay or something like that. So I'm sorry, y'all. He could have been paying with Apple
Yeah,
Pay or
because that's
something
how the
like
kids
that.
do these days.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say because he didn't have any money. So, but my thing is then why put him back? Even if she said put him back, if I'm finna buy him,
Mhm.
no, I'm about to buy this. And if you want me
Mhm.
to put him back and get out your store, then you should say put him back and you need to leave. But it doesn't look like
Mhm.
she said that, because when he put him back, he was still in there for a while, or whatever. Then he came to the front. They asked questions and all that. So, I just feel like he, as a child and young, he ain't gonna make the right decision. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it like that. You would hope he is. There are some kids that do know better. Like I know me at that age, and I might have been taking. I ain't gonna lie. I might have been trying to take something back then. I was little known to take little things back then. But I do know I still, if I hadn't been taking anything when he left and they came behind him, I know I wouldn't have ran. I'd have been like, what?
Mm.
And because,
Right. And thank you. That was another thing that I
yeah,
thought about. Why did he take off running if he know he didn't take anything?
right. But again, 14, and everybody different at
Mhm.
14. I know, like I
Mhm.
said, you and me both, we probably would have stood there because we like to, we like to argue with people, you know, so even if we ain't just get like this. So I'm sure as teenagers, we was the
No, when
same.
I was 14, I would have to. I'd have been like, "What? I ain't got nothing. What you
Right.
want? Look, tear my pocket out.
Exactly.
Look, go
Improve.
somewhere."
Uh-huh. But, being a boy, whatever, and just still he took off. And then when he took off, because he got a good head start. So
Mhm.
I definitely wouldn't have been chasing him after that because he had a good head start. I'd just been like,
Yeah.
okay, because if he took anything at that point when he running like that, he didn't have time to put nothing in his backpack. It would have fell out with that
Yeah.
running. I'm
Yeah.
just so
Yeah.
yeah. I
So,
think I really don't think he should have got out. But what I also was gonna do, I went in because I know you said you couldn't find some things on Rick. I found some things
yeah,
on Rick.
I did. I did. I was going that was going to be my next thing.
Okay.
I told you I did find those stories about the other two shootings that he was involved in. One
Mm-hmm.
in 2018, one in
Yeah.
2015. One was a man because he thought he stole some oven cleaner that was like $6, and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this I don't believe because the woman he fired it at the car. I believe 6 shots at a car because he said that she
Oh,
stole
look.
2 cases of beer and some peanuts. I don't know how you steal 2 cases of beer. Can you tell me that? How do you steal 2 cases of beer and some peanuts?
Yeah, and no way, because how you run unless you got to be like, who, you know what I'm saying? Especially if then, and what kind of packs are they? So remember we were talking
Hmm.
about um since they lost the criminal case. You see, it says here that they did file a civil lawsuit now.
Yeah, they violent, civil, and also the Department of Justice. Some activist group there, a local activist group called Post
Mm-hmm.
Protect Our Stolen Treasures,
Mm-hmm.
is asking for a DOJ review to see if there was a violation of federal civil rights or hate crime violations.
You know what's
So
interesting?
they're
Everybody,
asking the Department of Justice to look into it.
they all be having a problem and got a problem with Trump. But I can promise you, just because I look, I feel like I know Trump, but I know Trump. If
Hmm.
Trump, why they hate him, if they let him watch this video, he is not going to think
Hmm.
that they should have, and he would say, look into it. I truly feel
Yep,
that. So I don't know
I think
people,
that's
but
what's going to happen.
black people we be acting so silly sometimes and not realizing that you should keep tagging, should keep sending it to him on Truth, on Twitter, on X, and he will look at that because especially by the man
Okay,
getting off.
so let me say this right. So I think that if that does happen, I think that we're gonna find a whole lot about Mr. Child then, because I find it really strange that whenever you put in anything trying to find anything about him, and even when I was trying to find these older stories,
Mm-hmm.
you the only thing that comes up is that verdict from yesterday. I don't care how you put their names in, anything on him, right? Even his real name, because his real name ain't Rick. It's
Yeah,
what is
I
that?
have it on.
Shade Rick or something like
Let
that.
me see. It
Chikai.
is. It is Chai Kai Chai Kai Chai
Rick.
Kai
Yeah,
Chow.
Shakai. Yeah. So, and it makes sense that on our panel one day where the lady said that it came up and he had all that high tech equipment in there and then maybe he's working with law enforcement. Well, he's Chinese. And if anything that I learned about the last administration and our government is they
Hmm.
love them some Chinese and they love bending over backwards for him because I don't understand how he's able to still even be in this country and not be in jail after the other shootings
Yeah, I
in
was gonna.
his and
Let me
this
read it.
doesn't make any sense really, even though with the charges because he was denied a stand your ground defense.
Hmm.
So he wasn't in self defense. So the only thing is that the prosecution did not want to win this case
Yeah,
because they know, if we know, they know that this was not a murder one and that they couldn't win it. And
no way.
prosecutors do not charge what they cannot prove. Even
Yeah,
if they think that you really did something, if they can't prove it in court, they're not going to bring
yeah,
that charge.
and that's why people be mad sometimes because they don't end up charging stuff that they feel like the evidence is not gonna stand up. But let's see, let's see.
Hmm.
So it says deputies say in 2018, Chow fired at a shoplifter after the individual assaulted him. Chow fired at the individual twice, striking him in the leg. In another incident in 2015, Chow attempted to stop an individual stealing items who then entered a vehicle and threatened to shoot Chow. Chow fired 6 shots at the vehicle, say authorities. No one was injured. None of the incidents met the requirements under the South Carolina law to support criminal charges, say deputies. The department says they have received hundreds of calls over the past 5 years for service at the Express Mart Shell gas station reporting assaults, larceny, shoplifting, vandalism, motor vehicle theft, robbery, and burglary. So sound like Rick got a pew pew problem. He likes to pew pew people, but shoot at people. But here is my thing. You see that they made sure, then they're smart. They made sure that they called every time they had something to say. And I can
Yep.
about 99% guarantee you, none of them people, and that was a majority black neighborhood, so I'm sure they black,
Yep.
none of them
None of them
people
called the police and made a
called on him.
report. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And I'm gonna tell you, with all that going on, he shouldn't have been able to sell a stick of gum.
Exactly.
He shouldn't have been able to sell a stick of gum in that neighborhood. He should have shut down for lack of business.
But they kept going. But then you somewhere, and ain't nobody said nothing. But then you somewhere boycotting Target, where you safe at, where ain't nobody walking around
Hmm.
watching you every 5 seconds. That's got black products and stuff in there. Y'all, you boycotting them, but they ain't boycotting these Chinese people who obviously don't have no respect for you. They want your money, but they scared of you. You know, and
Hmm.
that's my thing.
Well, that's what I think.
Honest,
If
Yankee
he's that
says
much of a menace,
honestly, I don't believe any of it. I'm just playing along. What do you mean by that, Yankee? You need to come up and tap in and join us because that's interesting. I want you don't believe
it's
what?
like what I said earlier. It's like what I said earlier that some of these events that I believe are staged events because we
Okay,
are in race season now. They trying to get the niggers stirred up
okay.
for election season. They trying to get them stirred up because it's mighty funny. Also, like I said, we didn't hear anything about this until just now, right when Carmelo Anthony's trial is starting, because this happened in 2023, and we don't hear anything about it until it's like in the last days of the trial when they ready to come with a verdict.
Oh, you see this? These parents had put this. So this happened a while ago. These parents had put the lawsuit in 2024.
Yeah, because this happened in 2023
And they're saying, I said, they put it on pause until I guess after this.
after the
And then,
trial. They want to see what's going to happen with the trial.
mm-hmm.
Hmm. Because they would have had an even better chance had he been found guilty of going after the family, the wife and the son civilly, right? But
Mm-hmm.
now that he has been acquitted, now they can sue him, the wife, and the son, all three of
Mm-hmm.
them civilly. So, and it's a lower burden of proof
Yeah.
because it's by a preponderance of the evidence. So and we know that they did it because you know, he dead.
You said it said did you read the obituary on it? No, was young. I guess we answered your question about how long ago did it happen. Didn't read the obituary um on it,
No,
and
it happened in
then
2023.
yeah,
Mm.
but this answers your question. It says he was a former computer science professor, so
Who?
that's why
Rick
he had
Rick Chow?
Rick Chow.
See,
He a
that sound he a China he was the Chinese spy.
well,
He a spy
he,
for China.
yep, he was a computer science professor. And of course, the thing he had the two times. Well, it looks like that the people did report him because it just said that, but he wasn't charged.
I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no way that he was making more money at that gas station than being a computer science, whatever he was. It wasn't
Well,
no way to
because that
support him, his wife, and a grown son who probably in college and probably looking to start a family of his own.
well, you
It's
know
no
what? It
way that they
depends on the
because gas
neighborhood,
stations don't make that much. Gas stations don't make that much money,
but it look
especially when you paying for gas too. I told you, Mo,
yeah.
how much they pay for gas.
Yeah,
Thousands
you
of
know, I
dollars every
know.
time they
Remember
drop
we
a
both,
load.
but it depends. It depends on what else is in the neighborhood, and it looked like they was one of them ones that was having everything. That like late at night you could come, and get you cooking. It was big. It looked like they had a lot of stuff.
I know, Mo. They sell all of that stuff because gas does not make them money. They only make
Mm,
like 1 or 2 cent a gallon off of the gas. If I'm making 1 or 2 cent off a gallon, and then I'm spending thousands of dollars for the gas, that's why they put all that stuff in those stores because that is what makes them money. It ain't the gas. The gas just bring people in. And so it's no way that they making that much money that he would leave a career in computer science. It ain't
because he
like
looked
he was some immigrant that came over here and
well.
started a business.
Well, I was about to say, well, how old was he? Because then, if he was retired, maybe he getting a pension.
He was 61, they said 58 or 61, I
Yeah,
heard.
so he might be retired. Maybe he's getting another check. I don't know. We gonna have to delve a little bit more into you, Rick.
So he an immigrant here and
We
he was
on you.
able to retire by 58 and open a business that don't make no money.
You
For
know me.
real. Not real money.
I be done figured out a way to pull up how much it looked like his net worth was. Hmm. Yucky says, see
Gas
the fact.
stations don't make no money. He should have found something else to do because that ain't it.
Oh,
Gas
Mary
stations
said.
do not make
Mary,
money.
Mary said she heard he owned other stores, which I did too. I heard it was maybe about two. No, Yonky, you can
Mm.
retire once you put in enough time. My cousin retired at 59. Then I know somebody who retired at 55 too. So it just
He a
depends
Chinese
on
spy. I don't care
when
what
you
nobody
started
say.
working at the thing. I'm looking, Rick, I'm coming. Now you don't want to get
And you
us
know
on
what?
you, Rick.
Y'all remember Stag said he a Chinese spy. So when Trump's Justice Department started looking and
We putting on
investigating into this,
Stag's psychic hat. Okay.
and we find out he's some kind of Chinese operative, and Marco Rubio revoked his citizenship and sent his ass to Sierra Leone or somewhere.
Oh God. You got to go to Sierra Leone too. All right.
The Congo.
Well, I definitely, even though, like I said, since this was 3 years ago, I definitely hate that he, got off. I really don't think he should have gotten off at all. Just not any way he should have gotten off. That just don't make an ounce of sense. Not an ounce of
Especially
sense.
with the priors that he have. Like I don't know how he's shooting at everybody in the neighborhood,
Hmm.
and it's still people walking up in there buying stuff. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. Let me tell y'all this story, right? So my step family, they lived in the country, in Michigan, right? Country.
Hmm.
Nice little family. There's a store on the corner from my stepmother's house. that she grew up in, right? And one day we were all over there. This was in, I was a teenager, and I was going to the store, and they were like, "Don't go to that store on the corner," right? Because
Mm-hmm.
somebody in there called somebody in the family the N word. And so the
Mm-hmm.
whole family had collectively, they are not spending another penny in that store.
Yeah.
And they meant that. I'm talking about generations is like, you don't go in that store. And they live in the country, so it's not like it's a store on every corner, right? But I find that in those neighborhoods, they don't want to be inconvenienced in the
Mm-hmm.
slightest
We
for
well,
self respect.
well, then we also play like we so for our people like that, and in the majority of is what I mean by that, because you do have people that really they like stand on business. They say what they mean what they say, and they ain't going in
Hmm.
them places no more. But a lot of the other people who just be talking, they just be talking.
Because I'm talking
They
about her mother, they kids. Nobody shopped in that little store right on the corner.
mm,
Nobody passed it right on up and went down the road about 10 minutes to another store.
I do that to this Walmart over by me where I live, because I would go there all the time, and then I have a organization, and I'm like, I do all the stuff over here, and I keep on, and you don't even take time to look at. Oh, I can promise you, I won't be coming here anymore. And then look what God did, put one in my little town, and I don't go there at all. And my one in my town, of course, did the the right thing. So yeah, I'm a firm believer. You ain't gonna keep getting my money just
Oh, I'm like
because.
that too. You don't treat me good when I come in there, or act like, because I don't went, even when I was in my 20s, I don't went in the stores, and when the people act like they don't greet me, or act like I ain't come in, I'd
Mm-hmm.
be like, oh, okay, and I leave. I go take my money somewhere else. I'm gonna beg you to serve me.
Yankee said, "As either of you looked up the riots of 1935, that sounds almost identical to the story that started them," she said.
We got to put that on our list, Yankee.
No, I haven't, Yankee, but we will put it on our list to look at. So we can roll on over to
Okay.
the next one. Unfortunately, it's with some more kids in court. Well,
Yeah, midterm.
I happen to be less than 10 minutes away from this courthouse, and I guess since we do have the podcast, I'm thinking I might go up there tomorrow with the camera rolling, and get a little footage. Either not, if I don't go live from here, I'll record and and bring some things up or be on the TikTok. But from I do have somebody that has been able to go into the into the courtroom. I could too. You just got to get up there super early, because, of course, they have people that are guaranteed have to get in there, family, legacy media, people that the prosecutor wants to have witness or anything like that they want to have in there. And then public is only first come, first serve. Going in there for jury duty before trying to get me for jury duty is not a lot of seats for regular for people. So you have to get there. I'd have to get there super, super early in the morning. And I may just do it depending on if it looks like how long. I think right now, of course, the prosecution is presenting its case. And so I may try to see if it, because of course right now it's so heated and everything. And of course they're doing, and if you don't know, guys, this is Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, the trial or the case that had everything, every social media outlet, everything body. Which was this? Was a year ago. This was our race thing then. Um,
Hmm.
and so now the trial is actually starting. People are torn with how they feel. You got the different races going or whatever. So, and that's actually what's happening up outside the courthouse from what I'm hearing, because of course people can't go in. And but you got your black people showing up, just rooting for him, which, yeah, just rooting for him. I'm assuming just maybe because he's young, because he's black. I don't know what they want. If they know what they yell in self-defense, because I seen the guy getting up in the guy's face. Self-defense is not murder or something he was saying. So they just still saying
Hmm.
in self-defense. Then you have some white people showing up because Austin's family is like, don't do that. But they showing up just to I don't know. You know what? It was, I think it was April because it was track and it was the end of the year. It was the regional or the sectional before they about to try to go to state, but it was junior varsity. So it would have had to been in about April. But yeah, in the same time frame. But so they are up there. You have they have the white people up there that are, being, racist and making it about a race thing and all this stuff, which they just want to be seen because they figure the news gonna be out there or for their social media. But who I did show up there today was that guy. You know that guy, Stag, who is always at all the stuff, stirring up stuff. He was in Michigan. Video. Hold on.
But I also want to remind you, in the interest of reminding people, that this is race season of an election season, right? And that starts at the end of May, every election season. That's when it
Mm-hmm.
gets stirred up because considering that the Cyrus thing happened in 2023, we never heard anything about it until the day that they get the verdict, the day that Carmelo Anthony's trial starts. So now
Mm-hmm.
people's emotions, racial emotions, are stirred up, and now they're showing up at this courthouse and it's nothing but racial tension, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Here it
this
is.
is a brood pot, if you will. Okay.
Well, yeah. When you see this, when you see him, you gonna know most definitely that's what it is. Hold on. Tell me
Probably
if y'all
paid
can
by the
hear.
SBLC.
Can y'all hear?
No.
It ain't playing no sound, period. I wonder why that is. Hold on, I'm logged in. Oh, wait, there you go. I think it's coming in.
I ain't never seen that man before.
You never seen him, girl? He is at all the stuff. I don't know why the sound is not playing. Maybe Facebook didn't shut it up or something. But you see what
And
he's
I'm gonna
doing?
call him a plant because that haircut looked like they typical what
Oh,
they
and he
want.
always, and if you could hear, let me see.
He's a
Yeah,
paid
see.
agitator, probably, for the white, SBLC type stuff. Cause he got that little haircut that make him, you know what I'm saying? Just
Can you hear that?
it,
Could you
it,
hear
it don't
that?
even look real. No, we can't. I can't hear nothing.
You couldn't hear that? Could y'all hear that in the chat?
No,
Let me know if y'all can hear that. Could y'all hear that at all?
no.
Hold on. Um, were you able to hear when I was watching the other video? Okay, y'all tell me if y'all can hear now.
Fuck you! Chimping out, man. Low impulse control. This is the reason why Austin Metcalf is dead. Because this is a response that is told. This is a response they teach their young people to have. This is a response that the mothers, the black mothers in this community.
Could y'all hear it?
Yeah, we heard that, and that sound like that is inciting stuff. I don't believe that he a real person. I believe that he paid to be out there and to agitate. Remember what we read recently, right? The
Okay,
way
hold
that
on.
they
I'm
stir
gonna
up and
just let y'all.
agitate.
Okay,
Because
look.
this is a response that is told. This is a response they teach their young people to have. This is a response that the mothers, the black mothers in this community. This community does not teach its people to respect personal boundaries. It does not teach people to talk with respect. And that's why Austin Metcalf said, because of your failure as black parents. Failures as black parents. Failures. Failures as black parents. Teaching the youth to kill. You're failures to your community. Look at that. Me and you. Look at that. Me and you. Mutual combat. Me and you. Mutual combat. What's up? Hey, can we get mutual combat? Now you got me started.
Yeah, child.
I think that that's just like a paid agitator out there, SBLC type stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
send him out there to agitate because this is race season, and I really need y'all to grasp what that is. This is
Mm-hmm.
the time that they are trying to really stir up racial tensions, especially since the Democrats is really,
Desperate.
really on the verge of losing power. They need to stir up, they really need these midterms, okay? And they are
Mm-hmm.
trying to stir up as much racial tension because most black people vote on their emotions. So they trying to stir up them emotions.
Mm-hmm. You see, that's why I said I think I'm gonna go up there tomorrow because he usually stays places 2 or 3 days in a row. He wants that guy. He wants like when he was there with the Muslims, they like beat him up. Like they get pulled him through the crowd. He always will show up by himself. Um, and I don't know how much I'm gonna do, but I need them to understand. Do you understand this is what they want? He wants you to do. He wants you to be all in your emotions and act the fool. Ignore him. Let him. I guarantee you'll have more power over him if you don't give him no attention. Cause that's what he
Hmm.
wants. And then this man up here sitting talking about some me and you Mortal Kombat. Man, if you don't sit down somewhere and let that man be the plant that he is being, and don't give him no
Yep,
yeah, they do,
that's
young.
what
Yeah,
it is.
he because when I promise you, every situation that has had like a lot of people, he shows up there on purpose and he does exactly that. Because what are you talking about? This how they raise their kids. This what black mothers do. He had a whole black mom and a black daddy.
He's saying everything that is insightful. He's
Mm-hmm.
saying everything that is insightful.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
but so however, they chose the jury 3 days. And it turns out they're not gonna have any blacks on the jury. They basically what happened was all of the black people, and they said they got not just even blacks, they said it was a lot of whites as well that were saying that they don't think that they could send a kid to jail for life or even I guess for a very long time. Of the black people, I know one guy said that he couldn't see himself putting a brother in jail. That's what he said. That was his direct quote. Then one of the ladies, she was a teacher in the school district, and she was like, she think it's too close to home. She don't think she could be a part. But I'm gonna be honest with you. They sound like what I was saying when I went when I got called in, stuff that that was gonna make people end up you telling the truth, but that's they don't want to hear that. And then they said that his lawyer though asked a question like, how you feel about immigration?
Yeah, and they said that most of them said that's irrelevant and did and refused to answer that question.
Yeah, and everybody's trying to understand why he would ask, but I feel like it was a deeper meaning behind that, like to see whether or not they would
Whether they were
be
right
honest.
leaning or left leaning.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hmm.
So but yeah, so today, the first day of the trial, she said, they were just kind of going over. They saw the surveillance camera of the stadium. So you saw him coming in and you saw Austin coming in. They was showing that it was really raining. The tents are, they tents, but they really, they kind of like canopies when they have them for the teams and stuff. And so, it showed basically that when he came in, I guess it was when it was raining. Now, mind you, he wasn't in no uniform. He wasn't in nothing that participating because he wasn't participating. Um, he did go to Centennial, but he was supposedly on the track team, but this was junior varsity. Of course, he was a senior at the time, about to be a senior or whatever. And so I don't really know, why he was even there, but whatever reason he was there, they said that the video showed that when he came in, I guess it was raining at some point. It was a tent closer to when he came in, but it was full of kids under there or people under there. So he ended up, I guess, quote unquote, going to that tent because it was raining and he was trying to get from out the rain. Is how that's why she was saying. But of course the camera just shows him going under there. His school Centennial didn't have a tent. Um that's as far as I think they only watched like maybe 20 minutes. You know how they do, just kind of like what we saw. So that was kind of it. She was going back in for the second half of the day, so I don't know what else happened, but he's just, trying to present. They said he came there. That she said that the prosecutor basically was like, he a murderer, and he came there with the intent of hurting somebody, not necessarily him, but it's no reason. He was just, in his opening arguments, he was just outright calling him an intentional murderer. So,
Mm.
um, I
Well,
don't know.
what I heard that happened in that was that they said that when the altercation started, that he was under the tent, the boys went over, and I want to say that they told him told him that he needs to move, and he pushed him. He pushed Carmelo,
Hmm.
and uh
And he said, "Touch me
no,
again" or
no, no,
something.
no, 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 no. That's what he said. He told him to move. He told him, just just touch me and see what happened as he was reaching into his bag, and that the Metcalf boy said that you don't got nothing in your bag, and he pushed him, and Carmelo stabbed him. And it wasn't. Remember, they kept saying it was some kind of a cleat thing that he
No,
had.
it was a knife. Now that was other people saying that, but we, they said to us here
Yeah, he said
it
it was
was
a
a knife.
pocket knife.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
knife. The blade wasn't well, I think it was too long to actually
But
be bought in the
you
stadium
remember
though.
they were saying that the boys jumped on him,
Hmm.
right? That they jumped on him. So that boy pushed him and he stabbed him.
Yeah. And she said they showed him, when he runs off and he go under one place, go under something, he goes, I guess, to a coach or somebody, an adult, and then I guess that's when they have him go to the officer or whatever. But he ran off. And the other kids, they said kids were like yelling and chasing at him or chasing or whatever. So I don't, like I said, I will
Yeah,
probably
Mo,
try. Yeah,
Mo.
yeah,
He pushed him and he stabbed him.
yeah, yeah. And
That
see,
seemed disproportionate.
yeah, living in, like I said, my child was in a school district. I know, since Frisco is an amazing area, but there, of course, you have in the school district, you're gonna have different areas of the town. Not saying that, but it's just being known that the kids at that particular school are, maybe I'd say, just a little of the how you go with Frisco. They're a little of the more where it's I'm just say a little different. I don't want to a little different, and I could see him, probably having him a little blade in his bag. The whole problem is this, though. You know, like I said, first thing, school was still in session. Second thing, I don't
Mhm.
think he was authorized to be there. Um,
Mhm.
Third, as a track coach and a former track coach who's done had this stuff set up like it was, and if he's on the team, he know he shouldn't be going under no other school's tent. Period. Now,
Mhm.
it was raining. Would you might have dipped under the tent? Possibly.
No, that's not what they said though. They said he went under the tent because he knew some kids from that school
Well, yeah. Well, that's what they said. She
and
said they
was
said
over
it in
there
the trial
talking to
today.
him.
They said in the trial today
Mhm.
that he said he saw his friend, or he saw his friend under there. A friend of his
And was
was,
sitting there talking to him. Yeah.
yeah, and so that's why he supposedly went under there. Um,
Mhm.
but still, like I said, as a coach, and especially the boys wasn't, the twins wasn't participating. But as a former coach, I know I would tell my athletes that weren't participating, watch under here. Don't have no other kids under here, because
Yep.
some come up missing. Some come up missing, then
Yep.
it's gonna be on y'all. So if any
Yep.
other kids come under here, they gotta go. If you want to talk to your friends, talk to them over there. And so I know that that's generally, the rule. Now,
Mhm.
they also kids. They also some big football, so they don't know how to I'm gonna just be honest, to ask for nothing the right way either. And saying probably was like, you got to get out of here or whatever. And then, if you got an attitude, you kind of are like, who you think you talking to? And it probably ended up being, it just ended up being something that it didn't need to be. He trying to show he tough. They trying to show they tough. And he made a decision that is going to impact the rest of his life. Because he didn't have to stab nobody. I don't care. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You can't tell
Mhm.
me that if once they said leave, and even they said he grabbed him like by his shirt or something or pushed him, even
They said
if
he pushed him.
yeah, but it was like a like that kind of push where they supposedly grabbed his shirt. But here is my but even if that, and I get it because I was a feisty little something. I definitely wouldn't have pulled out my knife. Probably would have been fighting. I ain't gonna lie about that now.
Right, because
Yeah,
it don't seem in me to me it don't seem like it was that serious of an altercation where we pulling out knives. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Because I
Not as
be
teenagers, right? Because
mm,
I'm like you, Mo. I was feisty too. I'm ready to fight in a minute. Don't you?
hmm
What?
right. Who you talk to? You don't tell.
Right.
And even if I would have
Mhm.
said make me, and then once they would have tried to put
Yeah.
their hand, because I might have said make me leave. Now as an
Yep.
athlete,
I
I
sure would
probably wouldn't have been
have.
under there just because I know that, I was on track. I wouldn't have been under there. But if I was, and they told me what to do, because I think somebody told me what to do today on TikTok. I said, I need you to know I'm real grown, and you ain't telling me when to be quiet. So I already know that, and I would have we would have probably been fighting. But then you would have gave it a
Yeah.
chance. It would have been a chance for now the adults see you come break it up. Now if we have to go to jail, we go to jail. If not, you break us up and you tell me to go where I'm going, and everybody live to talk about it another day. I just
Mhm.
don't understand, and I don't
Right.
get
Is
it.
that this is just I'm gonna watch if it's are there cameras in there? Because I would
No,
like
no,
to
no, no, no,
watch
no.
this
They
this
not letting it be
crowd
no cameras.
actually.
And I said
So I
my
gotta
polo,
find
our
somebody
polo share is
reliable.
probably like, oh, what is all of this?
I gotta find
Cause
somebody reliable that's reporting out stuff because you know you're gonna have the leftists with their propaganda and their little race baiting organizations not telling the truth.
well, that's what I said. My friend who's in there, she's telling the
Hmm.
full story of what's going on. She's just telling it like I know she think he should have, he shouldn't be guilty. So I just kind of
See.
overlooked that part of how she's trying to tell the story and just listen to what
Mm-hmm.
she's saying, and and take the parts from there. But what I can say is I'm proud of our constables, because they was even when you see doing all that, you see they wasn't all doing too much, and she even said that the sheriffs and stuff were really being nice. Like they ain't like doing too much, which would make it be even more. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. I think they done got smart enough to know what's going on, and then if they standing there and they white, now we of course we got black cops, but they hear him saying that like dude, dude is trying to kick off something, and he probably an embarrassment to them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, you guys. We're gonna keep an eye on this. I'm gonna do a little bit more deeper dive into old Rick and see what I'm sure Stag is too, what he got going on, because it's just a little too much, and some ain't right. A little some don't smell right, something a little funky, and it ain't the fried rice. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Because he seemed to get that's a lot of shooting to be going on at people for him to still be walking around.
A computer science major, he acting like he was a Navy SEAL or something. The way he
You
just
know?
shooting around here, like bro, what is
Goodness.
going on? All right, we
Goodness.
got we lasted on
Okay,
that
so
a
can
long time, which is what we planned.
are we Are we
No,
gonna get into these crazies in Congress?
which okay, well, I literally, it's funny because I was gonna say we're gonna go ahead and go to our next segment. This will probably be our last one for today because we got so much to talk about, and it is Let's Talk Politics. We got a lot. We got the primaries didn't happen. We're gonna talk about what the results are and that, what's going on, and then we got so many hearings going on too, and it's just been a lot going on. So, Stag, what you want to go to first? I will get it set up or find who we talking about or what you want to talk about.
I want to see Mr. Messy Boots, okay? Because I'm going to tell y'all, I think that our Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, when he's not being a professional man in front of Congress and speaking to us and letting us know what's going on with our monies, he is a messy little queen, one with little witty comebacks. And
Yes,
will
he
set
is.
you straight real quick. I could just see it that he just don't let nothing slide. Cause
Yes. Yes. Let's
and
see.
he's not he just says it and hush. That's it. Bradley. He's an older white Bradley. If for those of you
Yes.
who follow us on TikTok and know Bradley, that's who he reminds me of with the comebacks.
Senator
Okay.
Wyden.
Hold on. I think this is exactly gonna start right where you want to see it because I know you want to see it first, and then you can laugh and let them see it, and then talk about your friend because I see you like Scott. You would like to
Hmm.
hang out with old Scott. Me
I
too.
would.
Hold on. Okay, let's see what he got.
Has mendaciously slandered the Treasury building in an attempt to cover up his son having an investment meeting with Jeffrey Epstein to ask for funding.
Let's be clear here. Nobody is interested in the ramblings of a capo in the most corrupt regime in American history. We want to get some facts about this deal. That's what we're here for.
Your son's largest investment position was Rick's Cabaret. So did your son and Jeffrey Epstein talk about pole dancing as he begged him for money using your limited credibility? Chairman Crapo, Ranking Member Wyden, and members of the committee, thank you for convening today's hearing. I'm grateful for this opportunity to discuss President Trump's 2027 budget, which builds on this administration's progress in unleashing a new era of economic expansion.
Could you pull the microphone a little bit closer?
Sure. I last appeared before this committee just a few weeks before the Senate passed the Working Families Tax Cuts. So on the heels of the most successful filing season in IRS history, I'd be remiss if I did not begin by thanking the committee for helping to deliver this once-in-a-generation bill to the president's desk. This day, under President Trump, we celebrated how much more money hardworking Americans kept, not how much the government took. Over 62 million tax returns claimed at least one of the president's signature new tax cuts. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, deductibility of American car loan interest, and enhanced deduction for low and middle income seniors. All told, the average refund increased by over 11%, with refunds increasing by 18%. But as important as what this legislation achieved is what it prevented. If opponents of the working family tax cuts had their way, our economy would have absorbed the largest tax hike in its history, over $5 trillion. 90% of American taxpayers would have seen their standard deduction slashed, while 40 million families would have seen their child tax credit halved. Instead, this committee held the line, and the American people had a better tax day because of it. Notably, President Trump's pro-growth policies don't stop at putting more money back in the pockets of working and middle-class families. They extend to placing the American dream within the closer reach of their children. For context, nearly 40% of Americans have no exposure to our great U.S. equity market, no stake in the companies they helped to build. Trump accounts represent a profound reimagining of that arrangement. They will ensure that every American child can benefit from private ownership and compound growth, that every American child having an investment meeting with Jeffrey Epstein, in terms of the economy, Senator Wyden has mendaciously slandered the Treasury building in an attempt to cover up his son having an investment meeting with Jeffrey Epstein to ask for funding. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
let's be clear here. Nobody is interested in the ramblings of a capo in the most corrupt regime in American history. We want to get some facts about this deal. That's what we're here for. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and I will ask my questions first today.
And we would like to hear what Adam Wyden and Jeffrey Epstein talked about. Your son's largest investment position was Rick's Cabaret. So did your son and Jeffrey Epstein talk about pole dancing as he begged him for money using your limited credibility?
All right. Stag.
I wish you would have let him see his face the way, because he went over, looked at him, and then he kind of was like, left that alone.
Senator Wyden.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Secretary, yesterday, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche indicated that the administration is not moving forward with the slush fund, but there's been no indication of what this
But did you
means for the
hear-
Trump alleged.
Go ahead.
You can let it go. It was another angle that I saw where he showed it. Did you hear the thing with your limited credibility?
Uh-huh.
That's the messiness of him, the queen of him.
And then he kept talking about some Rick's pole. He has got to keep saying he's something else though. But I like him. I'm gonna be honest. I just feel like all of them just they see how Trump is, and they just I feel like they all feel empowered to say what they feel and say how they think. Okay, so you got
Now,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say we're gonna go because your boy Marco been on lighting them up too this week.
Yeah.
So I was gonna see what I had, what I had in my archives on him. So we could talk for a minute and then I'll see. Let me get on to Marco.
Well, I also want to, if you have it queued up, the Sonny Hostin clip that I sent you.
Okay, you sent it
Because
to
when
me.
we get into talking about
You sent
these
it a text
politicians,
message,
stuff
or
that are
you
running-
sent it, email?
I want to say that I sent it to Proud Mary, or maybe to, I don't know, because I sent you so much stuff, Mo. I don't remember.
You usually
But
put a name, so let me.
when we get into talking about the candidate,
okay, go ahead.
when we get into talking about the candidate, but no, we can go into Marco Rubio first. But I want to discuss that because I think that's a, it was the thing that I told you she said, but I sent you the clip of her saying it.
Okay.
When she said that, well, we'll get into it when we get there. But Marco Rubio, they are all got them Democrats flustered. And I'm going to tell you what they do. In Congress, Democrats don't really have anything except that they want to get sound bites, right?
That's
And
all.
the media only shows them asking their question. And they never show the response to the question. So in order to make them not get those sound bites, that's why they're doing what they're doing. Because you see how flustered they are, and how they can't get that. And even if they go, people are going to want to know, well, how did he answer the question, right? Or if they have to, they don't have that sound bite. That's it. They don't get it. Because he had that blue-haired lady flustered.
Who are you talking about, Scott or Marco?
Todd Blanche. He's another one. Have you been watching him and them here? He's
Yeah,
just
I've
like
been watching
Marco
him too.
He just like them. Had her so flustered she couldn't even speak straight.
That's what I'm saying. All of them. Well, I didn't see him with him. I want to see what he was saying. Just interesting, real quick, and then we'll go. Let's see. With your boy. I just want to see what your boy was talking about. Let's get it over here.
I'm sorry if I'm talking loud.
Have
and
drugs
stuff, y'all
on
get
board.
excited when we
I
talk
would
about
like to add that the statistics from the Coast Guard also say that when we interdict alleged drug boats in the historic way, the way we've always done it, about 1 in 4 don't have drugs. We make mistakes. We see something suspicious about the boat, we stop them, and they don't have drugs on board. I would also like to add that drugs is not a criteria for blowing up the boats that are called drug boats, but neither is arms. So in order to blow them up, we don't have to say that they're armed or have drugs. And I think a lot of people would have questions, which I still do. I am glad to hear today, though, that the administration and the negotiations are willing to trade sanctions relief for removal of enriched uranium. I've said for a long time and argued for a long time that sanctions in and of themselves rarely, if ever, are of any value. I've yet to see any Chinese behavior that's changed because of sanctions. I've yet to see any Russian behavior change because of sanctions. I've really yet to see any Iranian behavior change because of sanctions. However, sanctions do have some leverage and ability to exact change if you remove them. So the removal of sanctions might actually have some hope. So I support the administration in this. Now, there are many Republican critics who have been vocal on the airways recently saying, oh, no, we can never negotiate with them. These are terrible people. Well, you don't really negotiate with really friendly, good people. In a time of war, you're going to have to negotiate with an adversary. So I do commend and supportive of the idea of this. And the other thing is it's very verifiable. You don't even have to wait for verification. You could say the trade sanctions end as soon as we get the 440 kilograms of enriched uranium. Now, it has to be dug, I guess, some of it from under a mountain of rubble, but at the same time be very verifiable. But what I would argue and what I would advise is that you really, why not offer everything? Offer all of the relief of virtually all of the sanctions if you get it. Now, you can wait if that's what you want, is the enriched uranium out and a promise. Now, the rabid hawks will argue, well, we're not going to negotiate with terrorists. We're not going to negotiate with bad people. Then they'll continue to have enriched uranium, and they'll continue to enrich uranium. So I do think that the
What happened?
militarily obliterated their military. All of that is true. It's as Fred Ickley wrote in Every War Must End, that military victory doesn't always translate or lead to political resolution or to things that you want done. What we really want done is no more enriched uranium, and you don't enrich uranium, you give up on these hopes. But I would say that as we are looking at trading sanctions, you say there's some you can do on your own, there's some that are congressional. I would be bringing in the leaders in the Congress who can give up on these sanctions and hopefully try to get their voice saying yes, if they will give up. Because if you give up a few piddling ones that that won't change things, that the White House says he's voting to do, and you still have all these congressional sanctions.
I thought he was going to.
If you're on the other side of that equation, you might say,
let's
we're not
check
giving
him
up.
out.
Secretary, you and I
he
talked
was
a lot
gonna-
about Africa, and I raised concerns about a lot of the cuts. We're seeing globally an increase in tuberculosis, an increase in malaria cases. We see a continued ongoing on the continent HIV crisis. And the United States has pulled back from a lot of its investments in those areas. Now with the crisis with Ebola, we see that the challenges that have been brought about as a result of our surveillance, early detection, and the like. So I'm just very concerned about what the administration's strategy is, because we're clearly seeing here that what goes on the continent of Africa directly affects our public health as well.
Well, first of all, I don't agree with that assessment. I mean, first of all, it's not about cutting back. As if the response here is not just how much money you spend, it's what results you're going to get. Now, let's talk about Ebola for a second. Ebola, the outbreak in Ebola was in a war-torn, isolated rural area in the DRC. That's where that began. Since that time, our response has been very quick, very rapid.
Well, so you're saying you did not cut early detection, Pierce. I'm not talking
I'm
about
saying that whatever you're pointing to as a cut is not the reason why there was an Ebola outbreak.
I'm not connecting the two. I'm simply saying.
Well, you are connecting them. You said that our cuts.
Senator Rubio, I'm not trying to get in an argument with you. I would really like to actually have my questions answered. So very quickly, we cut early detection when it comes to infectious diseases on the continent. Factually, this is not an opinion. We made those cuts. We cut early warning systems on the continent.
It had nothing to do with the Ebola outbreak.
So I don't need to tell you, Secretary Rubio, that we're living in a place where an infectious disease crisis anywhere is a threat to public health everywhere. The United States has made major reductions in these areas that have put us more at risk. If you're talking about this clearly Ebola crisis, there's other things and other cuts we've made, and you see it factually. Even our own even our own State Department personnel that I've talked to are saying we're less prepared for a global outbreak than we were before. And my worry is, specifically in a budget hearing, is this budget makes even deeper cuts into the kind of things that could prevent the next outbreak, or, as we've seen unfortunately with COVID, have us more prepared.
Yeah, I don't agree with that assessment. I don't know who told you that at the State Department.
So
just
let's
as an
move
example,
on. My time is limited.
I know, but that's an important question. I don't want to eat up your time, but I
No,
need to answer that because I just don't agree with that.
Mr. Secretary, you can't even agree on the facts.
Because that's not accurate. I mean, again, you look at what we've entered into with these
It's
countries.
not accurate that we cut early detection.
Because those have all been repurposed in different arrangements that we now have with these countries. As an example, when
Well, I would like, for the record, because we're not going to cover it in my short time, if you're telling me we are as prepared or more prepared before the Trump administration came in, I'd like to see the facts.
I think when these reforms are finalized, which we're on the verge of doing, we're actually going to be better prepared. We are responding today faster, not just to humanitarian crisis, but to outbreaks than we were before. We are responding in some cases within 72 hours, are able to move funds to task, which you weren't able to do in the old system. And we're also building the capacity of
Mr.
these
Secretary,
nation states through these
Mr. Secretary,
compacts.
may I please reclaim my time to shift gears? The Strait of Hormuz, I was listening to the conversations you had with some of my colleagues. We've now seen the Strait closed for months, and you explained that we're going to see an opening of the Strait, and that ultimately the exchange we will get for that is, after that fact, we will release certain sanctions. Is that correct?
No, that's not what I said. What I said was that if they open the straits, we will lift our blockade. The straits and the blockade are what are interrelated.
And so for the nuclear program, in exchange for getting rid of the fissile material out of country, I imagine, is what the highly enriched uranium, we would release sanctions. Is that correct?
Well, it's not just that. It's also their enrichment activity. They would have to, they would have to make very severe and significant concessions on what they intend to enrich in the future.
And already with the March relaxing of sanctions, allowing Iranians to sell oil to the Chinese, estimates have been between $10 and $50 billion they got from that relaxing of sanctions. How much money might we see?
Okay, I'm gonna stop him in the middle. You what do you think about him?
So Cory Booker is a clown, Spartacus, as we like to call him. And that shows, you see how they interrupt them in their propaganda, so they're not able to get those sound bites. He was trying to get the sound bites.
I'm not gonna let him go as long, but you gotta see, because I want you to give me. I don't know who he is, but I don't know who votes for these people. I would never vote for them.
That's Ted Lieu. That's Ted Lieu.
Oh, okay.
So this is a video.
Lieu is recognized.
Thank you, Secretary Rubio, for being here today. You have been at multiple meetings with President Trump. In a moment, I'm going to show you a video of one of these meetings. It is from last December. It's a cabinet meeting. I'm going to ask you to focus on President Trump, and you will see that he is sleeping while you are talking.
Oh, my God.
Please show the video.
Products they make and what American farmers grow and produce has a fair shot to be sold around the world. On issue after issue, that's been the case. You talk about foreign aid reforms. This is not our money. This is taxpayer money.
Secretary Rubio, have you been at more than one meeting where President Trump has fallen asleep?
That's false. That's false. I've never seen him fall asleep. On the contrary, the guy doesn't sleep, which is a big problem.
Look at the guy in the
He calls me
back.
at 2 in the morning. He calls me at 5 in the morning. And, I like to sleep a little bit, maybe not 12 hours, but at least 6. So he works. The other day he was at the Oval Office until 12:30 p.m. 12:30 a.m. I don't know what you're talking about.
Secretary Rubio, I'm going to show you in a moment a video that shows you just lied to Congress.
Oh, okay.
So this is a video of a cabinet meeting literally from last month where Donald Trump is sleeping while you are talking. Please show this video.
A coalition of countries that line up behind the peace deal, behind the border peace, and it's still every day is a challenge. But it's been driven personally by the president. It's the reason why we're involved in this whole Ukraine-Russia conflict. That's not our war. It's not the president's war. This war started. It never would have happened if you've been president. But this war is going on, and the president is trying to end it.
You are literally talking about issues of war and peace, and Donald Trump is sleeping right next to you.
No, he's not.
If Donald Trump cannot stay awake at these important meetings where the cameras are rolling, imagine what he's like when the cameras are not there. So I'm going to ask you, Have you been at classified meetings where Donald Trump has fallen asleep or had trouble staying awake?
I've never been at any meeting where, and the things you're showing me now, he was not falling asleep. And I think
so
it's
you're
outrageous
lying
that I'm before
again.
the Foreign
You're
Affairs
lying
Committee of the United States
consistently
House of Representatives
to
asking questions about
Congress.
sleep.
You're
This is a
lying to
joke.
Congress, Secretary Rubio. So I'm going to show you another video in a moment. The
Show me all
president's
the videos you
inability,
want.
the president's inability to stay awake on the job has caused other countries to perceive him differently. They mock him. They see he is weak and he is feeble. This is a video of a French news channel talking about Donald Trump falling asleep at a Memorial Day ceremony. Please show this video.
Well, Mark, a video that appears to show Donald Trump falling asleep at a Memorial Day ceremony this Monday has been circulating heavily online. And internet users have a lot to say about it. It's also reignited rumors about the state of the US president's health. Now, in the video, social media users say that Trump is fighting sleep whilst he listens to the speech given by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and that his eyes appear to be closed for a large portion of the ceremony. Now, we need to remember here that this is a ceremony to honor and remember those US military personnel who have died while serving in the armed forces. And the idea that Trump was asleep at a somber ceremony like this, well, that has triggered outrage online.
Donald Trump's inability to stay awake on the job shows that there's something very wrong with his health or cognitive abilities. And in fact, on a number of occasions, Donald Trump will contradict himself in literally the same meeting or interview. In this video I'm about to show, it shows that Donald Trump says the Iranian military is both destroyed and not destroyed at the same time, something that Dina Titus alluded to. Please show this video.
In terms of leadership, we've actually left their military alone. People would be surprised to hear that, because mistakes have been made in wars where you wipe out everybody and then you have a country that's, for 40 years can never rebuild. You look at what happened with Iraq. We did so. Iran is in a very bad position. They have no military. All they have is good talk, and they have a fake press.
So, Secretary Rubio, instead of holding North Korean-style cabinet meetings where everyone goes around the room kissing Donald Trump's ass, I'm going to ask you to come clean with the American people and the White House as well. There's something wrong with Donald Trump's health or cognitive abilities. There's a reason he keeps going to the hospital and they keep giving him cognitive tests. We have not seen the president in 8 days. The American people deserve the truth.
Now they counting
I
days.
yield back.
We ain't seen
I don't know how
Biden
to
for years.
respond to that, other than to tell you that it's absurd and ridiculous. And I can't believe we're in a Foreign Affairs Committee meeting in front of the House at an important time in American foreign policy.
Just keep lying,
answering
Secretary Rubio.
questions
Just keep
from
lying.
a so-called, supposedly someone who thinks he's a medical expert, and he's not. The truth of the matter is we had a cognitively impaired president in office a few years ago. That's a cognitively impaired president, but I don't like to talk about that because it weakens America. This president we have, this is a guy that literally doesn't sleep. He works day and night, long hours, every single day. I don't know if you haven't seen him in 8 days. I saw him yesterday. I didn't see him today, but yesterday because I was in Congress the day before. I talked to him at all hours of the day and night. He works inhumane hours. Okay, I've been on foreign trips with the president that he doesn't sleep in the whole flight. And everyone else is sleeping on the plane, and he's, wandering the hallways looking for someone to wake up and talk to that people are. So I don't know what you're referring to, but he has an incredible amount of energy. I'm just telling you, you may not like his policies. You may not like his policies, you may not like the decisions he's made, but I assure you, this is not a president that sleeps or is cognitively impaired in any way, shape, or form, and in fact is incredibly active, much more so in many cases than much younger people that are around him. Those are facts. I see it every day. You're not going to agree because you have another narrative that you want to push, but those are the facts.
I just showed you 3 videos of him sleeping, Secretary
Representative
Rubio.
Issa is recognized.
Okay.
Thanks for waking me up, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, if you went...
is going and
administration, but previous administrations have done that. And so consolidation of consular services.
Thank you, Secretary Rubio. Representative Kamala-Gordov.
so, Mr. Secretary, 5 months ago, you essentially became the new overlord of Venezuela, taking control of the country's oil revenues and giving foreign companies access to its oil and minerals. But you have provided no real transparency about where the money is going and who is benefiting from this arrangement. I want to now talk a little bit about Mauricio Claver-Carrón. So, Mr. Secretary, you've known Mr. Claver-Carrón for many years, correct?
I don't know how many years, but sure.
Okay. We know that he was special envoy to Latin America. He's also a former lobbyist who supported your presidential campaign, I think in 2016. And now he runs a private equity firm that is seeking $1 billion in investments in Latin America. Apparently, he is seen as your right-hand man on Venezuela, but he's not a federal employee, and he's not bound by rules about financial disclosures or conflict of interest. According to the Washington Post, he acts like a kingmaker in Venezuela, helping to determine which private companies get contracts and access. And that's concerning because in January, you gave confidential licenses for Venezuelan oil to a company that had been charged with bribery by the Department of Justice and employs a trader who gave $6 million to Trump's campaign. Some have said that Mauricio is the Jared Kushner of Latin America, but Mauricio has said that Jared Kushner is the Mauricio of the Middle East. So who is Mauricio, and why is he riding on private jets to Caracas with executives from firms trying to get contracts? And why is he texting Delcy Rodriguez on the regular? Who is he working for?
Okay.
I'm gonna allow you to respond. I'm setting this up because it looks unseemly that essentially you are taking Venezuelan oil money and sending it through a network of campaign donors, corrupt politicians, and lobbyists. And we can't get any documentation on that. We don't have any receipts.
Seen this lady before.
So the question is anyone from the administration, directly or indirectly, benefiting from the contracts being doled out in Venezuela?
Is this where I get to answer?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Number one is the number of people. Mauricio is one of many people that are involved in what's happening in Venezuela. There's not a day that goes by that we don't have someone who's interested in what's happening in Venezuela for a variety of reasons. Nor is he the only person in the United States that directly contacts Delcy Rodriguez and others. There is a stampede of people that want to be involved in Venezuela. Mauricio is one of many, but by the way, not involved in Venezuela. I am not knowledgeable or know of any financial links he has to anybody in Venezuela.
So I'm going to reclaim my time, Mr. Secretary, but I'm glad that you said that. Because you have said these things, you have shared these talking points before.
They're not talking points, they're the truth.
But it is hard to take your word for it when this is the most corrupt administration in American history.
Well, that's
we're
your
talking
opinion.
pardons for sale, we're talking about no-bid contracts to those on Trump's family and friends plan, we're talking about a $1.8 billion slush fund. And I think that's corruption.
I'm so tired of slush. I don't want to drink another slushy.
Corruption. They want to know if you think that's corruption.
Okay. Number two, this goes right to the point of transparency. You're absolutely wrong about the way the money flows. It's pretty straightforward, and I'll share.
So I'm going to have to reclaim my time again because the
what
question
kind of process is this? They get to ask questions and you don't get to answer?
It's my time. The question
I don't know
about
about you. When
corruption
is it
is
my
really
time?
important.
So why am I here if I don't get to answer your questions or your defamatory
I'm
statements?
reclaiming my time,
Reclaim.
Mr.
I want
Chair.
you to, but I want to reclaim. Well, do I get time? Because you make these defamatory statements and no one can talk here.
If
This
you
is crazy.
can't call out corruption in this country, then how can you call it out in another
Well, I can't say
country?
anything because you won't let me
That is
speak.
the question. It is about credibility and your credibility. And your credibility meter is on empty right now. This
See,
oil.
these guys just get to talk and I don't get to answer?
Who determines the barrels of oil that get sold?
What?
How
But you
many
won't let
of them?
me
At
answer your
what
question.
price
I have an
does it
answer
get
for your
sold?
question.
Where is it going?
Oh, I get it.
will
They
let
have to
you.
use their time for me to answer
The
your
onus
question.
is on you to
a
prove
joke.
that there is no corruption happening.
Well, how do I
That is
prove it if
your
you don't let me talk?
responsibility as the Secretary of State. And you know what? Normally, we would have access to that data. That's the
You do?
transparency.
You just don't know where
but
to
you're not showing us any receipt. Well, then show us.
But
Do you
you won't.
commit? Do you commit to coming back here with whoever the person is who is monitoring the sales of the oil? Bring them before this committee.
Can I
show the
reclaim my
receipts.
time?
Have the documentation. You don't have this time yet. I am talking about your credibility and evidence, not your talking points, because talking points are never a replacement for transparency
I agree,
and
but that's what you're saying. You're saying
documentation.
talking
And
points
we
without an
have not-
answer.
We are 5 months into this and no audits. Zero visibility into the
100%
contracts that are
false.
awarded.
100%
Zero
false.
Unfortunately,
transparency about where the
Representative's
money
time has
is
expired.
going.
Representative Salazar is recognized.
And giving contracts with no transparency
Can I
is
borrow your
exactly
time
the
to
reason why
answer?
you shut down USAID. So practice what you preach. I yield my
Oh,
pass.
she gets to scream now too? Scream
Chairman,
and
can we
shout.
take down her words?
I'll give you some time. I'll give
Yeah.
you some of my time. Then you just
Okay.
just
But God,
change
what
the
kind of thing
energy.
is this? What is this? You get asked questions for 5 minutes and you don't get time to answer. It's not a hearing.
I think you said clown
Like
show
a dunk
before.
tank.
I
What
don't,
is
I don't
this?
have to tell you.
I've even used their time. How can I answer the question? They don't even give me time. I've had to use their time to answer your questions.
Yes.
All right, whatever.
All right, so I don't need to tell you that in my community, the city that I represent, the city of Miami, you're one of the most illustrious representatives, and that we're very proud of you, not only the Cuban Americans, but the Hispanic Americans in my
Why is she
community.
leaving? I'm
So
going to answer her questions.
I will.
Oh, okay, I got it. Well, thank you for coming.
All right, so we're going to talk about.
I love him.
Okay, I wanted to get to that last one. Okay, so I know I played about a few in a row. You got girl. What you think? I'm leaving on Marco because I like.
You know what? Let me tell you again. He did it because you got to remember that Marco was a senator, so he knows their game of trying to make these inflammatory remarks. He knows they're not going to give him really a chance to answer, and so you see how he speaks while they're trying to get their propaganda off. Them talking points. No way is she gonna get a soundbite out of none of that. So she just wasted all of her time on that. And she tried to get it out at the last minute, but it still didn't work. And he's so witty. I love it. He gets under their skin.
Look at and that's my friend. That's my friend in the back to the right. He couldn't stop cracking up the entire time. Every time he said something, it was funny. It was good and it was funny.
Yep, because she talking and he's interrupting, so they can't use those as clean sound bites for the propaganda she was trying to spew. Because he was actively disputing her and letting her know how ridiculous she sounded. I love it.
And what was that man talking about? He like this sleep stuff. I'm like, if you don't.
Oh, that's who I wanted to tell you. Ted Lieu is a Democrat who was taking money from Ed Buck, the serial killer. There's pictures of him with Ed Buck. So, do you remember? Okay, do you remember the stories about there was a man who lived in L.A. and there was this man who had escaped from his apartment, and he was saying that. So first, it started with this black man who was missing. And his body turned up, and the mother was all out there and everything. And then they found out it was a man who had escaped from his apartment, and that was how he got arrested. Right? He was inviting male prostitutes that he was meeting on the streets and stuff up to his apartment, and then he was injecting them with some kind of drug that was knocking them out, and then he was killing them. He was a big Democratic donor. There's pictures of him with Hillary Clinton, Ted Lieu, all of the Democrats. He was a big donor. And so he didn't get arrested until Trump's first term. But he was a serial killer.
Yeah, that man he was a little weirdo. I'm gonna show you. So we're
So
gonna
he
go.
can't talk about nobody.
We're gonna go through this real quick and then we can get your just can't moment in and go through. Y'all know we try to be timely because we will be on our TikTok for the after show. But we did want to talk about some of the elections that are going on or have went on and give our take on it. So we're gonna touch first
Under
on
California's jungle
governor's race and let y'all see what it's looking like. The most recent, of course, they still quote unquote counting
primary system. The top two vote getters, regardless of party, advance to the November election. Steve Hilton leading Javier Becerra by about 2 points. Tom Steyer 5 points behind. Make that 6 points behind, catching Javier Becerra. And now
I knew she wasn't gonna get nothing, no girl. So thoughts on the California. What are you thinking? Do you think California is gonna turn around and pull another Arnold Schwarzenegger? Go ahead.
Well, what they're doing is they're pulling another 2020. That's what they're doing. They stopped counting, and then they had all these ballots that came in, and not one of them came in for Spencer Pratt in LA, right? And the numbers, the percentages of how much they still have left to count keep going down as they going on in the counting. So they pull it, they're cheating. And Trump has launched an investigation into the election.
Yeah, I heard there's been an investigation launched. I think it looks like they got something going on in Jersey. Now I don't know anything about there. It looks like these are the Ford House or Senate or whatever. But what is the deal? What do you know about any of those people there? Are we possibly losing seats, gaining seats when the time comes? Of course, we know it's just a primary. Oh, but yeah, I wanted to show. So yeah, I do know what it is, but I want to show
Booker
this.
ran unopposed in the Democratic primary. There are Democratic primary. Opposed.
Hold on.
Senator Cory Booker in November.
So it looks like
Will
he's
face
gonna...
Senator Cory Booker in November. Booker ran unopposed in the Democratic primary.
So I want to pause that there, because you see, these are obviously the Republican candidates, right? Now, I guess they running against Cory Booker.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a black man in there as a Republican, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the people gonna do? Since they need representation, they just gonna still go run and vote for
They
Cory
gonna
Booker?
vote for that Democrat. Yep, they gonna vote for Cory Booker, even though I don't. Oh my God, I can't stand him. They gonna vote for Cory Booker or the next Democrat, because they all don't kind of the Democrat. Let me tell you, I'm just gonna be honest,
Well,
right?
Cory, you didn't hear
I
Cory
don't think
Booker.
that.
Cory Booker's unopposed, so he
Yeah, I
automatically
don't
get
think.
the.
Yeah, right. I don't think that none of these Democrats is winning these elections. I really don't. I don't think that nobody is crazy enough to vote for them for real. And as much as because it doesn't make sense to me that their approval rating is in the toilet in Congress, where they like 12% approval rating, and they keep winning these elections. How are the people not satisfied with your performance, but you keep winning elections?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a lie too, but I guess we'll see. So it looks like, I don't know, but it looks like outside of the black people are turning up to being in second place. Everyone that I see. Now we definitely want to go and talk and do our. Well, we already know. So we got the upset with, or the quote unquote upset with Ken Paxton beating John Cornyn. What are your
Yay.
thoughts? You got a yay
First
on that?
midterm
Okay.
I'm
elections.
happy.
Okay.
I'm happy. I'm happy that Cornyn is gone. I'm happy that Jasmine Crockett is gone. I'm glad that Al Green is gone. I'm glad that what's the eye patch dude? Dan Crenshaw is gone. I am glad that all of these rhinos and these unnecessary Democrats are gone. Corrupt Democrats are gone. The state of Texas is cleaning house. Okay. Cleaning house. We will no longer have to see Al Green with, I don't know what's going on with that hair of his and that cane that he likes.
Go ahead. You go. I'm sorry.
We ain't gonna have to see no more of Jasmine Crockett and her lashes and that neck rolling and all of her vulgarity. We're not gonna have to see Dan Crenshaw is a rhino. Chip Roy, did he lose? I hope so. I don't know. He's a rhino. I'm happy. Texas, great job, Texas. And I love Ken Paxton, and I can't wait for him to be. I know he's going to the Senate, but I can't wait for him to be the great governor of Texas
Right.
one
You
day.
know what's so funny? Because of course they keep on just talking about the little scandal that he had and this and that. I'm like, everybody had one. What I can say is, from my time being here in the roles that he's had, he has been good at them. So I know I cast my vote for him, and I know in November I'm gonna cast my vote for him again. And I can't see Talafico or whatever his name is.
Tallarico.
Vinny Barbarino. I'm just playing. I'm sorry. I can't see him winning, but it's ironic to me, which is what I really don't understand, is how all of these people are coming from these blue states. They're coming here coming to red states, and then they are which they left where they were from because they were unhappy with it. Obviously, you coming somewhere, you living better, you got a better job, lower cost of living, nicer environment, and then you come and want to change the politics into what you left. Like, to me, that is just absolutely stupid.
Yes.
I don't understand
they
it.
retarded. I don't think that they really
Oh, you can say that.
understand
You see, we can say that here.
what it means to have representatives. I know, and it slip out all the time on TikTok, and I'm glad I can freely say it here. They're retarded, okay? I don't understand what it is that they think is going on, that they do that all over the place. Everywhere they go, they just ruin it with their voting, and then they'll be looking for somewhere else to go. Then where you gonna go when you start voting everywhere blue and everything is trash? Where you gonna go to then?
When we know that we have seen that the results of their policies are just not good, because they really I'm just I just now living as long as I've been living and seeing things the way that I've been seeing, they really don't want people to do well. Somebody, we were on with the live the day, and somebody said that it was like they are quote unquote considered the party of the impoverished, right? They're supposed to be for the impoverished people. So how would you think that they would want your life to not be impoverished? Then
Right.
you wouldn't vote for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that's one of the key things that got me out of that way, because I just kept saying, why you keep wanting me to hate wealthy people? And when you keep talking to me like that, that means you're talking to me like you don't think I'm gonna be wealthy. Or I could be wealthy. I don't want no politicians in office or that's talking to me, and you actually control the legislation, and you are basically telling me you ain't never planning for me and mine and my community to ever be in the position of the people you trying to make me hate. Because if you
Right.
thought so,
And I'm gonna say that.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish. No, I'll go ahead and finish. Well, my thing is that I don't think that uh Democrats are like you said, if their whole platform is poor people and looking out for poor people, then that the only way that they can exist is if people are poor, right? So what is their incentive to help you to get out of your situation? Because their party would cease to exist. People wouldn't vote for, well, people with sense anyway, because there are wealthy black people who still vote for them because they've convinced you that you need to vote for other people when everybody got the same vote you do. One, right? So if you use your vote for somebody else, who voting for you? And what your interests are and what you need where you live and in your life, right? So I think that is crazy, and it's the other part of they have them so confused as to like when we talk about redistricting and stuff, right? And they have somehow convinced them that this is their fight, and convinced them that they're losing something because they can't have that power. That's the only person that's losing is them, the elected officials, because they have to now campaign for your vote. They get competition for your vote. And if they really are, their policies are really good, then they should be able to win over other voters.
Yes.
So that they can win. I mean, I don't understand. It's crazy. They are retarded.
Well, everybody, we are at one of your favorite segments of the show. And of course, we're winding down. So we are about get ready to laugh. I swear these be getting people. People be going ahead on Stag, y'all. Some be like, "Oh, I love her." This. Some be like, "Oh, she need to be." They don't like the truth. They don't like how the truth comes out as only Stag can give it. So next up is, you guys, the Stags I Just Can't moment. Stag, you ready?
I'm ready. I didn't have anything planned, but right now I'm just gonna go on off of
I'm about to say,
what we probably gonna be going into.
Just let it rip however you
So
see.
in the last few days, the last few days, me and Mo have been going over, really the last couple of weeks. We have found some things and we've been reading them on our TikTok live that go back to the 1865, right after the Civil War, to see what it was that happened between the Confederacy, the Union, the freed slaves, the freedmen, and what went on up until, all throughout. Then we going over communism and stuff, and we're reading this stuff that is footnoted, has sources for the information, and we still have people who still want to hold on to the narrative that they have been sold in order to make them think that everything in this country is based off of race. And when we get into the communist stuff, it shows you how all of these different organizations, their intentions are to cause nothing but racial tensions in the country because it helps to further their goals. So if you know that they are using you as pawns, right? Because they explicitly said it, they're using you as pawns to further their goals. Not only are they using you as pawns, but it is not in their interest, as they say, for you to be self-sufficient and independent of them. Why would you then still support said organizations? We have seen that the SPLC has been paying KKK and other right-wing extremist groups and neo-Nazi groups to cause division. And they have brought a superseding indictment where they said that they have funded $4.1 million and that there were members of the KKK who wanted to leave, and they convinced them to stay and also reimburse them for they cross burning materials. Okay, so let me get this straight. The SPLC claims that their purpose is to dismantle white supremacy, and I need you to explain to me, how are you dismantling white supremacy by convincing KKK members to stay in the organization, move them up to leadership positions, and reimburse them for cross burning materials? Y'all got to make that make sense to me. And there are people who defend that organization still. And as who was the guy, the Color Communism and Common Sense, Manning Johnson? I have a question for the NAACP, the National Association of Always Complaining People. With all of them millions and billions of dollars that y'all done probably got over the last 60, 70 years of your existence, what have you poured back into the communities to lift them up, right? You're supposed to be the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. What school have you built? What scholarships have you given, and how many and how much? Okay, because y'all got a whole lot of money over the years. What trade programs have you come across? What curriculums have you funded? What books on financial literacy have you sponsored, or education in that area? What homes have you built in these communities? What business loans have you given? What is it that you are doing exactly for the advancement of the colored people? Because all I see is you running around causing a bunch of racial tension and division. That's it. That's all I see that you're doing. And if you people who vote and believe in those groups, right? When you hear facts about how fraudulent they are, the lies that you've been told, we would ask that you listen, learn, and if you can't, zip it. Zip it. Stay in your corner. Stay and keep that ignorance to yourself while Mo and myself try to wake up the masses and keep them thinking in a free mind, a free thinking mind, and think about the things and focus on the things that advance us further in the future. Right? Because y'all seem to not want Black people past the civil rights movement. Was that the highlight of y'all existence? Civil rights? Because you have people now thinking that that is exactly where they are still mentally. Captured, stunted. That's not advancement. That's not the advancement of people. You are the biggest group. You and all of your other little organizations are the biggest groups that hold them back, keep them stagnant, keep them thinking that they cannot move forward until they get these unattainable goals reached that y'all are asking for in this country. And I'm going to land there.
Woo-wee! When I say lucky my mic was off because I was up here cracking up. When I say cracking up, yo, but when I say, you are amazing. Great job, Stag. Great job. Great job. That was good. That was good. I can't wait till it get clipped up. I can't. That was good. I just
would
can't.
just say, I would
just
just
can't
say
wait.
that for those of you who are listening out there who may watch this later, my rants are better off the cuff
Oh,
when
I
I'm
like, yeah.
responding
Oh,
to
yeah.
someone because I respond to exactly what they say. So y'all need to follow me and Miss Mo on TikTok. You can follow me at 92 Stag, and you can follow Miss Mo at the Let's Be Honest Show.
They're on the bottom of our things. Those are our TikToks, y'all. And
because I'm much better, I think, off the cuff because things come to me like a preacher,
okay, now, all right,
in the
Pastor
moment.
Stag.
I am not good at a prepared rant because it usually comes from responding to their ignorance.
Yep. Well,
That's it. But thank you, Mo.
that was good. That was good. And it's funny because it leads perfectly what she was talking about. Because she said, if y'all did some financial literacy, well, y'all know that's what I'm on. And how they wrote a book. They might not have wrote a book, but guess what? I have, y'all. So that's gonna be in the description because we serious about this here thing. We serious about financial literacy, and we gonna grab it for the team. So what's next though is we are rolling into our final segment of the show, which is the Most Money Minute. And today I'm gonna keep it under a minute, but I'm definitely, it's like, and I ain't tell Stag, y'all. I need y'all to know I ain't tell her. It's literally on financial literacy. I'm going to give you 3 quick basic financial literacy tips that everybody needs to know. So first, we need to understand the difference between income and wealth. Income is the money you make. Wealth is the money you keep, grow, and own. Don't just focus on getting paid. Focus on building money and something that will last. That is what is going to determine wealth. Okay, that's tip number 1. Tip 2, learn how credit really works. A lot of times people think, well, I got credit, and you think that you should just be running up your credit. You should use your credit, but you should not use more credit than you're able to pay off in 30 days, right? Because you want the good payment history. You want to be able to have more available credit. The more available credit you have, then that is going to help your credit score as well. So it's not free money, it's borrowed money, and it is money that has responsibilities attached. So like I said, pay on time. Keep your balances low, and don't let them credit cards trick you into living above your means. We literally did a research the other day, and I think it showed that about 12% or 13% of people in this country are in debt and have negative debt, right? Negative debt is something bad because that means you have more debt than you have assets. And now tip 3, you want to save before you spend. So even if it's only $10 that you can afford to do after you've taken care of all of your responsibilities, that's core responsibilities, that ain't all the subscriptions and the Netflix and the club and all these things that you feel you want to do. You want to build a habit of paying yourself first, and your pay is your savings for yourself. So savings gives you options. It gives you emergency money. It gives you breathing room. It gives you discipline, and it eventually gives you freedom. Freedom means less stress. Less stress leads to better mental health, physical health, and financial health. So this has been Mo's Money Minute. Speaking on financial literacy and understanding that it's not going to help you get rich overnight, but it's about making better money decisions just one step at a time. This has been Mo, and this is my Mo's Money Minute for today, June 4th. All right, y'all. All right, Stag. So,
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Guys, hopefully, like I said, you learning. Y'all know, for real, this is my book. Do I got in the camera right? I'll be getting the wrong way. This is my book. It's in the description.
Those
It's
were
for
great
teens.
tips, Mo.
Yes, Smart Money Moves, a teen's guide to financial literacy. Grab it, guys. Grab it. It's
Where can
available
they
on.
get it at? Where can they get it?
You can get it at the link in the description, and you also can get it on Amazon. And you have it available in the paperback as well as ebook. And if you have Apple, it's an Apple iBook as well. So you can get it all the places, and you can get it on the TikTok shop. We have well. All right. Well, thank you, Stag. I appreciate it. I hope you guys take these tips and actually apply, because that's another one of our major problems is we hear things and we let it go in one ear and out the other. So it has been a great show. You guys, if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you have not shared with your friends and family, we need you to share with your friends and family. We are the little engine that could, trying to get to these 500 subscribers, and we need your help. We are going to thank we got to come up with a name. What we want to call something. We're gonna come up with something. Our Proud Mary.
We call them our rollers.
Our rollers, right? We gotta thank our rollers. We gotta thank our rollers, our regulars, Junkie, our moderators, Mary, Freya, who's been up here. All of our rollers that are regular on our show. We thank you. We appreciate you. Is Wendell, thank you. Cousin Kevin, if you still watching, everybody, we appreciate you. You know that the Proud Mary podcast is where you're going to get some predictions, because Stag got a look, her psychic hat on. You're going to get the truth. You're going to get some information that you may not have heard about. You're going to get a different outlook than you would just on any other standard podcast or us even on our TikTok, because we're able to be a little bit more raw and talk like adults over here. We don't have to talk like kindergartners. So until next time, we pray that all of you and your families are healthy, wealthy, and even wiser. And I have been Monique J. Let's be honest. And this is
92 Stag.
And we are the Proud Mary podcast, where we give it to you nice when we can and rough when we must. Until next time,
And
y'all.
rough when we must.
Yes. And until next time, y'all enjoy. All right, stay around a little second. Don't leave. Listen to our little song, our little show song, and tell us what y'all think, our theme song. And we will see y'all over. After show on TikTok. So we're going on TikTok in the next 10 minutes, 10 minutes, and we will do the after show on 92 Stag's page. So make sure you follow there. And then, of course, you'll see me on there as well.
Yes.
All right, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't rush the truth. We let it groove. Lush though. Nah. We talk politics, culture, money, the law. Real conversations, no curtain, no fall. Oh. From headlines loud to stories they hide. We read between lines, let the truth ride. No scripts, no filters, just grown dialogue. We say it out loud, no need to monologue. This is the Proud Mary Show. Come ride with we. Unfiltered voices, clarity. If it matter right now, best believe we know. We break it all down. The Proud Mary Show. Real talking.